Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Week 6 drama-filled impact version of the Commissioner's Corner slash the actually Monday report. Haven't done a Commissioner's Corner in a little bit, and there's a reason for that, as I'll tell you later here. This is going to be like a hybrid podcast slash Monday night report, because it seems that there's a little dissension in the ranks. So here's the deal. I'm going to do a quick little backstory and explain, because, it's hard to lay out where we're going if we don't know where we are, and more importantly, where we came from. That's how I always say things. And I just got a text message. Oh, that's saying that this is going on. So in case you didn't know, this is going on right now. Okay, so where do we start? Okay, so one of the things about this league is that we do have a thing called the randomizer, which the randomizer is designed to keep, and I know I'm beating a dead horse, and you've heard this 1,000 times. I apologize, but I'm going to say it again. I will continue to say it. Damn, glasses are dirty. I can't even stand looking at myself. Do you think I'm ugly? So anyway, the randomizer is designed to prevent someone from not submitting a lineup and thus giving another team an automatic victory, okay? So yes, you could collude or whatever, yeah, but that's not the thing. The thing is, sometimes just people don't do it. Sometimes we have shitty owners, which this year we have several of, by the way. Thank you very much, people. And so in years past, what would happen would be, let's say, 3 people don't submit a lineup. So come Sunday, which in years past wasn't a big deal, but come Sunday, I go through and like, oh, well, this joker didn't submit a lineup. So I go on the computer, I go to random.org, I spend a good amount of time per team randomly distributing scores or players from between the top 10, numbers 10 through 32 positions. I've explained this 1,000 times. Can't believe I have to explain it again, but I will. And place them in there. It takes time to do this, okay? Not a big deal back in years past, because in years past, so I would do maybe 1 to 4, usually 1, honestly, usually 0, but occasionally I would do 1 to 3, maybe 4. At 4, it was a big deal, and I'd make a deal about it in the podcast saying, what the fuck? Why do I have to do 4 of these things? It's bullshit, yada, yada, yada. That was when we had 40 teams, 60 teams, 80 teams, whatever, right? So now we have 96 teams. At least we think we have 96 teams. It looks like we have 96 teams, but really we don't, because we recruited way beyond our scope, because we thought we had people we could trust recruiting people. And for the most part, we were right. But some people, you just never know, flake out, they suck, whatever. So in years past, when I had 1 or 2 or 3 of these things to do, wasn't a big deal, because I used to work at Sprint, where I was for a long time. And Ryan Allen, you will appreciate this, as will Ryan Fraser, Jackie Woods, Darius Binks, whoever else. I never worked Sundays there, because I would strategically take my vacation to where I didn't have to work Sundays, so I could watch the Lions, spend time with my family, yada, yada, yada. My dad mainly. I spend time with my kids all the time. Anyway, so you combine the fact that there's 3 of these randomizers and the fact that I was sitting at home watching football and nobody noticed the randomizer problem, because come 110, all the randomizers were done. Okay? So that's how things used to be when I worked at another place, and it's how things will be once we hire 2 more people. I won't have to work Sundays again. We already have 1 person hired. We just need 1 more, and I won't have to work Sundays again, and it'll all be a moot point. But it doesn't matter, because I'm fucking done with it, and we'll talk about that in a second. So let's see where we are now. Now I work for a company that I do have to work Sundays, because I am technically second from the bottom of the totem pole, and it's union-based. If you want to have that discussion, we can have that discussion. I don't care. What I do care about is the fact that I have to work on Sunday, and the first couple of weeks it wasn't a big deal, because I had to, I could sit there if I wasn't busy. I could do 1 or 2 randomizers right on the sales floor. Yeah, that's productive use of time. Sure, 1 or 2 of them, not a big deal. Well, the last 2 weeks, now currently the last 3 weeks, in case you're wondering why there hasn't been a podcast, because I've been pissed off because of the fact that the last 2 weeks, especially this week and last week, 16 randomizers 1 week, and this last week, 21 randomizers. 21 randomizers. That's like basically a fifth of the league did not submit lineups, and it's bullshit. So I preemptively set randomizers because I knew these jokers like Straight Cash Homie and whoever the hell else who recruited these people need to die. So I preemptively randomized some teams, and then ultimately come kickoff Sunday, there are like, 14 or whatever zeros. Yeah, 14 zeros. Guess what? I get paid to do a job. I don't get paid to do this bullshit right here. I get paid to sell phones on Sunday, so I'm not spending 2 hours of my time on the sales floor randomizing people. So what's my point, right? My point is that people talk about, people are like, well, all these scores go from 0 all the way up. Dude, I work on Sunday. I don't have time to do 16 randomizers. So when I get home, that's when I do the randomizer. I spend over an hour of my day randomizing these people because you, as the owners, recruited shitty people that don't submit their lineup, okay? So, yeah. So in case you're wondering why it's zeros most of the day and then all of a sudden, bloop, there's a score, and that's because finally I got home and I had time to do it. Now, keep in mind, people, there is a second commissioner. You don't realize this probably because he doesn't do anything on these podcasts anymore. I don't know why I didn't come up with this plan before, but I talked to someone else. He is equally responsible for these things. So I had a discussion last night with a friend of mine. Had a discussion with this guy, who's also a friend of mine, but it wasn't a very friendly discussion, put it that way. I apologize. So the randomizers are going to be... well, let me take one more step back here because it got a little more dramatic last night because I had lost my cell phone. I went out to dinner with a friend last weekend, and the phone's been missing ever since. No, my friend did not steal it. She didn't steal it. I can assure you that much. It was lost, presumably at Applebee's parking lot, whatever. So I have said multiple times, people have texted me their lineups, and I've changed them because I get the text messages, yada, yada, yada. So last night, after I got home from work, I received a Facebook message, which, of course, Facebook messages are not allowed to submit lineups. We've established this clearly. But it's a Facebook message from a friend of mine who's like, why wasn't this lineup changed? Oh, okay. It wasn't changed? Well, that's because I didn't get a text message about it. But then I thought about it. I haven't had my phone since last Saturday. So, with the stunning AT&T technology, you can actually switch SIM cards and actually get text messages and stuff. And it was a big jumbled mess. So the big to-do that apparently the other commissioner was receiving phone calls about, and I'm not saying you weren't receiving phone calls, but he was like withholding the names to protect the presumably innocent, was that I put a post on Facebook saying that, quote unquote, some scores were changed because of legitimate changes that were sent to a text message, which, by the way, you can get a documented copy of on a physical bill, Ryan Frazier, if you need to see this. I mean, it's ridiculous to even think about that. Where Ryan Frazier mainly sent a message on the way to the Lions game at 11:28 a.m. saying that I want to. He tried doing it from his phone, and let's take it back one more step. This fucking website is hideous, and it's a terrible thing to navigate, especially on a cell phone. So he tried changing his lineup in the car with Sprint service. No offense, but that's not the easiest thing in the world, and it didn't work. So he sent me a message saying, hey, I want to put in I want to take out Odell Beckham, and I want to put in Calvin Johnson. Now, of course, by the time I get this message, after I've worked all day, after I've done 16 randomizers, I'm like, oh, okay, that's legit. He had Calvin Johnson in. Yeah, Calvin Johnson scored a lot of points, so it's like all of a sudden it's like, whoa, all of a sudden he's got a huge score. And people fly off the handles. But in typical Bill O'Reilly / fucking right-wing lunacy, people flipping out don't do the research, okay? So let me tell you this. Let me tell you a little backstory here, okay? We had the game that he was in. Ryan Frazier was playing Alan Black, who I guarantee you Alan Black is not the person complaining about this. So someone's sticking their nose in business that isn't theirs. Frazier was up by about, I think, 6 points. He had 2 players left to go, one of which was Odell Beckham Jr. And I don't know who the other guy was, honestly. There's another one. It was one of the guys that played last night, I think. And Alan Black's team, which is Jerry's kids, had 1 player yet to go. And guess who that player was? Odell Beckham Jr. So when you do the research and you're like, wait a minute, you're changing scores on me. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. This isn't right. Do you realize that by Frazier submitting this lineup change, if Frazier didn't do the change, which he did at 11:28, if he didn't do the change, he would have had 2 players playing, one of which was Odell Beckham, and he was up by like 6 points. The Alan Black character would have had Odell Beckham playing. So Frazier had automatically won the game. So the absolute fucking asininity, if you want to call it, to think that something is amiss there. I mean, are you guys brain damaged? I mean, because by taking out by putting in Calvin Johnson, taking out Odell Beckham, he guarantees the fact that he's going to have a chance at losing this game. So the point is that it's not about, guaranteeing wins, guaranteeing not winning. The bottom line is Frazier sent the message 11:28. Had I had my cell phone, which I do not have because I have to ride out a few more days before my deductible drops, $50. But again, SIM card technology, you can get these things. Bottom line is, by that happening, it was done at 11:28. I, as commissioner, if you look at this podcast, and again, I'll take full admission to the fact that I thought that I said the text messages were allowed. The Facebook message was not allowed, but I did watch it back, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. This is, I kind of I never once said Facebook message or text messages are not allowed, but I did basically immediately segue from text, whatever, fuck it. Point is, we said on that first podcast that we are, quote unquote, not responsible for lineup changes. And it's true. But as a leader of this group, as a leader of this league, I feel that in this particular situation, I should be responsible because A, it's the right thing to do. He did submit the change. He contacted me. The fact that it actually hurt him is irrelevant. Okay? This wasn't a fucking 6 a.m. the morning after the championship game where all of a sudden a magical Facebook message shows up saying things. This was a message that cost the guy points, cost the guy a victory. Sure, he got more points, but it could potentially cost him the victory. And it was at 11:28 a.m., time-stamped, verified, 100%. So the conspiracy theorists out there, of which apparently there are a few who like to remain hidden in the shadows, nope, that's not how I run things. And for you people who think that, I would really like you to call me personally because my phone number is 517-879-7804. Don't call for the next 6 days, though, because I won't have my phone replaced till then. You can also call me at 517-748-3344. You can call me at 517-270-6789. There are fucking numbers all over the damn website where you can get a hold of me if you have issues, okay? Not the case with the other guy, all right? So, nevertheless, and in case you're wondering why I'm going on this rant about this, it's because I take this shit extremely seriously. I do a lot of hard work on this website. I do a lot of these podcasts. I'm wasting 12 minutes of my morning already, haven't even got into the Monday Night Report talking about this because I care about this league. I do. I really do. And yes, I'm disappointed in the fact that there's a lot of randomizers being done. And I'm disappointed about the fact that when I work all day and I come home and I have to spend an hour before even hugging my children, basically, taking care of my children in this league because there's obviously a bunch of infants who don't know how to do lineups. I get upset when people question me as a commissioner. I get upset when people question my integrity. You better believe it. And I won't tolerate it again. So that is why, effective immediately, I am taking a step back because I'm tired of this bullshit. I am taking a step back. I will no longer be in charge of randomizing things. I am relinquishing that duty to the other commissioner / Rod White, who is like a mediary in all this, I guess. And you know what? Let them see what they can do. I'm going to try to let them do a podcast. Oh, wait, no, I won't, because that's just not going to happen because people don't know how to use cell phones or Google Plus or anything like that. So, yeah, am I bitter? Yeah, I'm a little bitter because I'm bitter at this whole damn league right now. Well, not the whole league. The responsible ones, I love you to death. I mean, you were awesome. But the irresponsible ones pissed me off a little bit. And then for these, for lack of a better term, these, I don't even want to call them what they are, but don't fucking question me ever. Because if you do, this whole thing comes crashing down. I promise you that much. So, and if you have a problem with this message, feel free to call me, text me, Facebook message me. As long as it's not a lineup involved, I will respond. No problem at all. I put everything out in the open. There it is, out in the open. So, yeah, I'm sure Frazier had some giant conspiracy to make himself lose, potentially. Anyway, so Monday Night Report, if anyone gives a shit anymore, after that whole depressing tirade. I won't get depressed, though. Farmers only. Yeah, you know what? This isn't even happening. This requires Nasty Nutria needs DeMarco Murray and Larry Donald to score 40 points. DeMarco Murray hasn't scored 40 points all year, so I'm sure that's not happening. Team Bob Ames 2.0, the sequel, has defeated Carp Carnival King, a randomized team, by the way. This is a good one. Magic Mike Plate, one of the alleged conspirators, 52.24. Oviedo Honey Badgers, 56.85. Magic Mike Plate has DeMarco Murray and Philadelphia Eagles going in. They have to outscore Sam Bradford and Jordan Matthews by about 4 points. That'll be fun. Wally needs Zach Ertz to outscore, or basically needs Zach Ertz to score 9 points in order to win, because they both have Caleb Sturgis going. The Night Kings, everyone's favorite Twilight team. They have Sam Bradford, DeMarco Murray, Jordan Matthews, Ruben Randall, Zach Ertz, Josh Brown. We're going to wipe that one from the record. Philadelphia. So the Night Kings need Bradford, Murray, Matthews, Randall, Ertz, and the Eagles to score 70 points. Probably not going to happen. And that game is over. Watme JJ needs Caleb Sturgis to score 19 points in order to defeat My Providence Power. Didn't change the lineup. Somerset Slammers need Josh Huff and Josh Brown to score 32 points. Probably not going to happen. This is a good one. The Sag Nasty Notch Above Top Notches needs Eli Manning, little brother, and Jordan Matthews to score to outscore DeMarco Murray and Ruben Randall by 2 points in order to defeat the Bone Collector. Is that my kid screaming? And then we have, what is all this all about here? Okay. Presumably, why is that all messed up here? Let me refresh this thing real quick. Sorry. Yes, this is quite the intense morning, I'll tell you. Oh, okay. There's the Night Kings. Okay, there we go. So we left off there. Straight Cash Homie has 1. That was a randomized team, by the way. Whoever Straight Cash Homie is, kill yourself. So then we have Goodell's Ginger Hammer needs DeMarco Murray to outscore Sam Bradford and Caleb Sturgis by 9 points. Probably not going to happen. The Fear Boner team needs DeMarco Murray, Jordan Matthews, and Josh Brown to outscore Eli Manning by 2 points in order to win. That'll be fun. Sioux Girls 1 Cup. This one's probably not going to happen, but you never know. Oh, that was a good one. Needs Ruben Randall to score 22 points in order to beat the Broskis, number 8 team in the nation. That game's over. That game's over. That game's over. That game's over. Omer Metzger needs Shane Vereen to outscore Del Beckham by 22 points. Probably not going to happen. Something that could happen here. Tallahassee Thundercats needs Darren Sproul, Sharon Vereen, and New York Giants to outscore Larry O'Donnell by, 32 points. Probably not going to happen. The Golden Taints need Ruben Randall to score 10 points in order to defeat number 23, the Wolfpack. It's exciting. 45-7, which apparently is a play on the, well, not a play. It's the score of that AAFC championship game. I had an answer for this. I was going to report in the podcast, but then I stopped doing them because I was depressed. 45-7. Number 17 in the nation needs Eli Manning to score 18 points in order to defeat the New Orleans Rock Chucks. Free Me Brady one more time needs Sam Bradford to score 8 points in order to defeat Brady's Balls. That game's over. Eli Manning can score 100 points. He might be able to beat Live Long and Prosper for Dardar's Dandies, but I doubt that's happening. New York Giants aren't scoring 40 points. Jordan Flatliners need Jordan Matthews to score 14 points in order to defeat Will Fork on First Date. Oh, we got the baby here. The baby's here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, I can hear him crying right now. And then, speaking of crying, Show Me Your TDs has Odell Beckham in. And he needs Odell Beckham to score 14 points in order to defeat Ypsilanti Pip Squeaks if Odell Beckham plays. So that's that. Yippity-yay. So we're going to see how things go next week with me relinquishing some of the control here. And, hopefully it goes okay. I think I trust him. I know I may come off a little pissed off about this whole thing, and I am, Anyone who knows me knows that I don't really. I mean, I have very low tolerance for bullshit, and I don't. I basically, you know, I won't sugarcoat things, and I'm a little upset at the stance of this league. And it's not only the people in the league, it's the actual website itself has been very disappointing this year. Several people just can't get lineups in legitimately, so they have to text them to me, and then I put them in, such as as the Big Z Show has literally submitted his lineup every week via text, and I go in and manually do it, just because the site sucks in a way. And I'm not sure if it's because there's 96 teams or what, but I don't remember ever having these issues. And then, of course, let's not forget Richard and Rod. Good luck with this one. Let's see how you handle this debacle. There's a freaking game in London this weekend, and then everything gets all fucked up. But I'm stepping back. I'm going to let the co-commissioner take over some of the power here, if you will, and prepare for chaos. Because if you don't know how to prepare for that, you basically need to go in and manually change the lineup vision twice during those London games. So I'm going to let you handle that and see how things go, and then all of your people can rally behind you. So anyway, that's me. I may be back. I may not be, depending on what kind of mood I'm in. So I love most of you who are out there, just so you know. If you're one of these people who aren't submitting a lineup, there's a good chance you're not submitting this podcast. So it's me being negative to people who actually do support the league, and I apologize. But that's that. I got to go to work. See ya.